Hey everyone, I'm Erin Mitchell with Blackbridge Harley-Davidson, and today I am chatting with Alex Palumbo from GTA Motorcycle Riders, right?
Riders, GTA Motorcycle Riders, that's right.
GTA Motorcycle Riders. You can find her on Instagram at that exact same handle, and it is so exciting for us in appreciation of International Women's Day, and upcoming in May, we got the International Female Ride. It is so exciting to talk to a young, confident female motorcycle rider. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about your journey into riding and how you got started.
Well, again, my name is Alex. Hi, everybody. I'm 35 years old. I grew up in the Toronto area, and I grew up around a lot of sport bikes. I was lucky enough in high school to be riding as a passenger, which kind of started my relationship with motorcycles and had me chasing that adrenaline rush at a young age. It took me a little bit of time to get my own motorcycle license. But with enough male push in the industry, it kind of little bit of a fire under my ass to get something of my own to kind of prove everybody wrong that I can do it on my own and not just be a passenger.
I'm the same way. When I got my license, it was pretty much I just wanted to do something that nobody else could. But it's interesting that you said that you started in riding as a passenger. Was it your dad or a boyfriend?
It was actually just friends in high school.
Yeah.
We had a pretty solid
Yeah,
group of
right.
high school friends
Yeah.
that had, so by the age of 17, I was on the back of a wheelie, and I mean, that was it. You're hooked at that, right?
Yeah, the adrenaline rush for sure, right?
Exactly.
I think that's like a really interesting you like even just starting off this conversation, I'm kind of fixated on this point right now because I wonder how many women started their own riding journey as a passenger on the back of a dude's bike.
I'm sure a lot have. And with that being said, Michelle's raising her hand. With that being said, I kind of broke the mold for my family. My brother is 8 years younger. He had never considered motorcycles before. But when I was going for my motorcycle license, it was something I encouraged him to do so that we can do it almost as like a family bonding experience. There weren't very many females in the course at that time. So when I did it more recently, when I purchased the Harley, I decided to redo the safety course. And I noticed a lot's changed. When I did it 9 years ago, there was only one female in the course. Now there were 5, 6 females in the course.
Did you get when you did your M2, did you get it and then let it lapse, or did you get it and do your M2 exit?
I let
Because
it lapse.
I hear a lot of women go, "Oh, I did it. I've had that power thing, but I didn't pursue it
It's
post
true.
course," right? And it's kind of hard to find. I think for me, the first time I let my license lapse, I didn't inherently find a community of people to ride with. I was intimidated by the female riding groups because
Hmm.
they were so experienced, and I felt like, oh my God, like just a little awestruck, right? But then, riding with my partner and like having him coach me or doing other things, like it became tedious. It was like more of a chore and a
For
strain on our
sure.
relationship. He learning to ride and ride at his confidence level, his speed, his experience. That didn't jive for me either. And it wasn't something I really wanted to do solo.
Right. Right.
It navigating that, it can be really intimidating. You have all these irrational fears, like, what if I dump it?
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. It's funny that you say that because I bought a brand new Harley as my first bike. That's my biggest fear. It still is my fear, even going into my third season. Oh my God, am I going to drop it? Am I going to slip on a little gravel, lose my footing? Um, it happens to the best of us. It happens to men. It happens to the big bikes and the little bikes.
yeah.
It's just the nature of being on two wheels. And it's just a matter of kind of gaining that confidence. When I first got the Harley, I took it straight to the lot. I had my boyfriend at the time ride it to the lot for me. And I set up a little practice area for myself. And I did all the drills that I remembered from my safety course and really forced myself to kind of learn the clutch, learn the brake, and learn the weight of the bike. Because I think it's something that people kind of undervalue when they're shopping around. It's a lot of weight when you're standing still. When you're going, it's great. You have a great amount of time, but it's the little safety maneuvers that you really want to familiarize yourself with before throwing yourself out there on the road.
Well, and especially, it's really hard to find, it can be intimidating to find fitment as a female rider, right? I'm a very tall woman. I'm 6'1". So like a 883 and a sporty is not going to be the most comfortable fit for me.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm 5'3". And there aren't very many options for me starting off because I wanted to be more flat-footed. And that's exactly why I gravitated from the sport bikes to the Harleys and started thinking about different riding positions. And I think that's what my bike kind of has, is not just the old chrome that's rolling down the road with the big fat man on it anymore. We can be stylish with it now, you know?
And like there's so much that you can do. And I think, there's a lot of misconceptions about, where's that fit. And as a new rider and as an inexperienced rider, you might tend to gravitate towards a bike of a smaller model,
Yes.
smaller frame, smaller fitment, where you're going to actually find much more comfort and control in something that's fit to you.
Right.
I'm a tall girl, but I'm a small girl. So I was really worried about having the upper body strength and the power. Like I'm light on top. How am I going to control this big piece of machinery?
Right.
Being properly fit to your bike, whether it's, for some women, it's lowering the seat, having it lowered, making sure that, where the weight distribution is on the bike, whether it's, like that's fit for you, right? And that's
So
comfortable.
something that I looked at when I was weighing out the differences basically between the 883 as a good beginner Harley. People were recommending it. Also a smaller size and something kind of sporty, which was kind of what I was looking for, the look that I was going for. And I kind of ruled out the Sportster 48, which is the bike I ended up with, because of the engine size. And a lot of people were telling me, 1200 cc, oh, that's a lot of power for a little girl getting started on her first bike. Are you sure you can handle all that power? And I thought to myself, really, what's the difference? It's about control, it's about your comfortability on it, and it's about how you ride it. So when I sat on everything, I thought, why am I going to get the 883 when I can get the 1200 and just pay a little bit more on insurance, for example, and have a lot of fun with it and build it exactly how I wanted to, exactly how I envisioned it.
So Alex, when you went into a dealership to purchase your first Harley, like how was that experience, would you say, from the female perspective, right? Because we hear from some women that, it's a challenge, right? Coming in, there's kind of the assumption, both as a new rider, let's say, and a female rider, that you don't really know what you want, right? Let somebody tell you what they think you should be riding. And it sounds like you had already done your research and kind of had a pretty good idea going in what you thought would make sense for you. So how did you feel confidence-wise coming into kind of a male-dominated space and saying, no, like this is what I'm here for? So,
well, to be honest, it was the motorcycle shows, having the variety of bikes kind of all in one spot. It's something we're really missing during COVID times, unfortunately. But being able to show people the different features, being able to sit on the different sizes of bikes and really feel the weight of it while you're there and talk to the salespeople, I think is really important. The thing is, it is a male-dominated industry, and I think that it will still take some time for the industry to understand that it might be the wife of the husband shopping and not the husband shopping. It'll just take some time for that to happen, but I think we're getting there.
So you said two really interesting things that I want to come back to. One is, where do you see the evolution of female ridership going? And, kind of bringing that back to your first point earlier about when you took your license the first time and being one of the few women in the courses to seeing more women in the courses. Where did you get your confidence, and where do you see women in this sport going to?
So, okay. I've seen a lot of women evolving in this industry by not limiting themselves. They're kind of sick of the men dictating what's okay for them to do. So I see women starting their own social groups, their own motorcycle clubs, their own riding clubs, so they can get out there and do the things that they really want to do without having the restrictions of maybe a man overshadowing them. Sorry, repeat your question one more time.
We can break it up and Andy can
That's
edit
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe why don't we start with, where did you develop your confidence in the sport? Like, what was that journey like for you?
Confidence with me, for me, came with time. The confidence for me came with time, a lot of practice, and really just starting to put myself out there. Going to little social meetups, it allowed me to meet other like-minded, younger female riders that were also new. So I didn't feel like it was just me learning. I can now learn with this community that I've met.
What do you think is the biggest, I was just saying like the biggest gap, like as a young female rider, what is attracting women to sport at, a young age? And then what is missing for that demographic in motorcycle
I think
riding?
something that's been missing for the past 5 years, specifically for women, has been good gear. And we've seen the gear change so much over the past years. Like, I'm still wearing an old leather jacket that I had from 9 years ago. And let me tell you, when I go shopping around, I'm like, wow, this is so different. You can really feel that things are made for a woman to ride and not just be a passenger anymore. So that's one thing. Uh, I really like the connections that I've been able to build with some of these women. It doesn't matter if they're on, a Ninja 250, a Harley 1200. We're all out there just to enjoy our lives. We've worked hard for what we've bought, and we want to just adventure and enjoy and explore.
Do you think that there's like a greater level of independence and autonomy that is attracting women to such a individual sport? Like, I mean, historically, right, motorcycles are muscles and machine and men and garages and like, so
It's true, especially with
what
Harley. The image that Harley has always portrayed
I
over the
mean,
years is muscle and iron. But I think it comes with just women's empowerment and the women empowerment movement. With equality and with better income and better jobs, we're able to really open the doors for us and explore and not have anybody have to, keep us home with the kids. We can now go out and do it on our own and go camping out in the woods. It's not just a man's world, it's a woman's world.
yeah. No, it's really exciting for me to kind of see from the dealership perspective, when we're out in the showroom floor, to see more women engaging in the sport, to be really passionate and inclusive advocates for the sport, bringing other women into the sport, teaching the sport, right? So it's I think there is an inherent intimidation factor that perhaps maybe just isn't spoken about as much in other demographics, right? Specific genders. You don't hear men talking about the intimidation factor of dropping their bike, but everybody's thought it,
Everybody.
done it, first of
Yeah.
all, so maybe it's just that women are more vocal about it, right? Or that our first introductions to the sport are typically in a passenger capacity.
Right.
This is, growing up on, a mini bike and learning how to ride at that age, like, I don't know. So
With a mini bike, with that being said, with a mini bike, it's something that, girls that have never thought about motorcycle riding with me before, and they see pictures online and they're inspired. They're inspired to go out there and do these things that they never thought that even I could do. They've grown up with me. They've seen me evolve to become this woman that I am now, when I used to be this very shy, very reserved kind of girl next door. And now I'm like, here I am. Where's the next adventure?
There's something pretty cool about being able to jump on a motorcycle or jump on, like even jump into a car that's standard and know how to drive stick, right? Like, the mechanics and moving through the gears is not a skill set that everybody has. So
I
just kind of
didn't.
want that. I don't know. I gotta admit though, I still have the training wheels on. I got a 500 Street at the store, and we came back from one of the riding schools, so it still has like the drop kit on it. I'm hoping this is the season that I get to graduate and take that off, right? So we'll see. That's my objective for this summer. So tell me a little bit about the GTA Motorcycle Riders, this community that you've developed and are continuing to develop. What are they all about? What are they passionate about? What are you guys up to?
So ironically, I started GTA Motorcycle Riders because I was the passenger and I was sick of being the little connector that put all the dots together and got everybody to meet up on certain dates. So I decided to create a group where everybody could kind of come together and give each other advice, share great roads, share if a biker's gone down so they can look for their loved ones or their friends. And it was all about just kind of creating a sense of community to bring everybody together. And it's really resonating. Everything has grown so beautifully. The community has really shown its support for each other, and it's allowed people to connect that I never thought I would be able to connect with, which is really nice. I'm working on some really exciting events this year.
That's awesome. Well, especially during COVID too, right? When we're in the middle of this global pandemic, we can't connect with each other the way that we used to. We used to have like some really awesome social events at the dealership. You can't do that with the same in the same capacity anymore, but we can still ride, right?
Exactly.
So I'm really excited to hear that you've got some stuff lined up for this riding season. Is there anything you can tell us about? Give us a little hint or a sneak peek.
Well, I've got some stuff planned for the spring. April 10th will be one of our spring rides that we've planned. And May 1st is the International Female Ride Day. So I'll be honoring that by hosting an event that's kind of like a for girls by girls. And it'll be supporting some local businesses, some female-owned businesses, kind of just bringing the community together after a nice ride.
That's pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. I know that we
You
were
guys
talking
can come out.
Carol Ann Whalen from Second Gear Motorcycles, and she's also has some plans in the works for International Female Ride Day. I think the more that we can talk about these events and connect our networks, then it's going to be pretty remarkable seeing all of these ladies thundering down the road together. So
yeah, I think the GTA Motorcycle Riders allows a community for not just riders, but people that are also interested in it, that are looking for the education, and people are there to help. So anybody that wants to reach out on the Facebook group to ask for advice, get at us. Everybody is welcoming and very friendly.
That's awesome. So, talking about advice, what are some of the things that, if you were going to give advice to a new rider or, somebody looking to expand their riding journey, what would you want to share with them?
My advice to any female rider that's just looking to get started would be to take your safety course and get some education. Go around, take a look at all of the bikes, sit on all the bikes, and take the man's opinion with a grain of salt, and don't let their opinion change what you really want to go for.
Yeah.
I can reword that.
No, I love it.
I would say to encourage everybody to do the safety course, try all the bikes, and to not let anybody discourage you.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we're man bashing either, right? We're not like. But I think that there's different perspectives.
Yeah.
Like the female perspective and approach to riding is inherently different, right? But that's not just solely based on gender, it's experience, it's age, it's that there's lots of different lenses that we can look at the sport. So it's great to celebrate the female perspective in this conversation. So I really appreciate your thoughts on that. So
thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate sharing with you guys.
And Alex, just a quick question for women looking to connect with other women to ride with, because that's a challenge we hear from a lot of new female riders is, well, none of my friends ride and I don't know anybody, and I'm a little intimidated on how to connect with somebody, how to get started. In addition to your group that you started, which obviously is an awesome resource, do you have any advice there on maybe how women or new riders can find other folks who are kind of also on their journey and getting started that they can connect with?
Yeah, there's lots of social media tools are a fantastic tool. Instagram, you can search local riders in your area and local female riding groups. Facebook, another great tool. And again, at the motorcycle shows that are around, we have a lot of the riding groups and social clubs that do come out and advertise what they do. They do a lot of charity events. So there's tons of ways to really get involved, even if you don't have a motorcycle.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, cheers to maybe 2022 being able to have a motorcycle show.
Yeah.
January 2022.
Fingers crossed.
Exactly. Is there anything else that we want to touch on? Give me a topic. If they've got a hot topic that you want to talk about, then we can hit it.
For me, it was really all about like proving the men wrong because they were very belittling to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of my size. You know, I'm seen as a backpack or a passenger more so as being able to hold my own. So it was really about kind of sticking it to them and be like, no, I didn't just get a Harley. I got a 1200cc Harley. The biggest sporty I could get.
Would you say doing that has like jacked up your confidence in other aspects of your life, right? Learning this skill has allowed you to flourish in ways that maybe you didn't think possible in other areas?
I never thought I would get the confidence that I've had since riding. Never. Amazing. It's been absolutely empowering and life-changing.
I definitely felt a huge sense of accomplishment on getting my M2. You know, it's stalled a little bit for me since then. I feel like I'm kind of back in that pattern of like, okay, you got it, now you gotta keep riding. You invest in the time, right? And you're gonna love it more the more that you build up your confidence, the more that you build up your skill. But I love bragging. Like sometimes you just throw it out.
Yeah.
I brag, you know.
And look how sexy it is, by the way.
That's a small percentage of the population that you know do that. So that's pretty cool. So,
well, hopefully you guys can make it out to the May 1st ride. And if not, I'd love to hear if Harley would like to, I don't know, provide something so that the girls can kind of have the opportunity to maybe try a Harley while they're at the event.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested in talking to you guys further about that.
For sure. We may be COVID depending, of course. There is there's a couple of women in our area that organize stuff for the International Female Ride Day, and they were actually wondering if we could potentially be an end destination, depending on what gathering limits and things like that look like come May. So, I mean, we're already really excited to be connected in general. So, yeah, anything that we can do to broaden the reach of that, and people have lots of avenues depending on where they're located about how they can connect with other women to ride. Certainly we can share content and that kind of thing. Absolutely.
Another tool that I thought was really fantastic that you guys had was the jump start, allowing somebody to really feel the power and what it feels like to shift gears. I think is kind of important, especially when a woman is so intimidated that they might not even make that step into the safety course. There needs to kind of be that in between, and the jump start kind of provides that.
It's definitely a cool feeling the first time you get to go all the way through, right? And you're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And it's just loud and badass, so. Absolutely.
Except the live wire.
Yeah.
Except the live wire. It's badass. It's just not loud.
Alex, for sure, will definitely support, any way that we can. So we can chat about that more. And we are working on a pretty cool project for the spring too. That's app-based riding challenges
great.
It's not dealership specific. It's not branded for anything. It's not Harley. It's not Blackbridge. It's just about team challenges, like riding with a group of 4 to 6 people and doing some cool stuff. So we'll definitely share information with you about that as it comes out. It might be something that your group
great.
And you can have your own kind of GTA motorcycle riders like part of it.
Yeah, we'll have a ride to that event. Absolutely, that would be great.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Cool.
Well, I'm looking forward to the 2021 season. It's going to be 10 degrees and sunny this Sunday.
I know. You know, we're in teaser spring, like they call it. This is like false winter, right? Where you get excited for a week. You're like, oh my God, it's double digits. Oh,
and then it snows.
a little bit more longer to wait. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I might have to fire it up today, though. It's very tempting.
Stay out of salt trails and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we will chat with you soon, Alex. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. Thanks,
Have
guys.
a great rest of your day. We'll see you in person hopefully this year.
Yes, I'll come visit again soon. Chris is looking for a bike, the boyfriend, so
Oh, that's
we'll get him
all
on the
right.
Harley team.
Did you,
Perfect.
I think Andy told us that, right? Like you guys are
Yeah.
connected with Andy? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Take
was
care of
talking with Eric, I think, about the new Street Bob. It's really nice.
Oh, yeah.
114? Fuck, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
He's got his eye on it, so we'll see. I'll come visit you guys soon.
For sure. Awesome. Thanks, ladies. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.